What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel, Real Talk Recovery, where we talk about recovery from addiction and I share my life with you. My name's Nicole and I'm an addict. My sobriety date is July 13th of 2015. I'm currently on a maintenance medication called Suboxone. I am down to 1 milligram, you guys. I've been tapering since March of 2019 and I'm taking you guys on the journey with me. But that's not what today's video is about. Today's video is going to be about Mary Jane, ganja, weed, you know, that green stuff, trees. That's what we're going to talk about today. But before we and you and I get into this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and click the notification bell. That way you will be made aware of every single time I upload or go live. For those of you guys that are new to the channel, I go live every single night at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. So I hope you guys will join us. And on Fridays, we have MARA meetings. If you're new, MARA is Medication Assisted Recovery Anonymous, and it's a fellowship for people just like me who are on maintenance medication and are using that in their recovery. So now that I got that out of the way, let's talk about some marijuana. The Wilderness had asked me, that's my friend's name. Y'all are not just subscribers, y'all are friends. My friend, The Wilderness, asked me to make a video on marijuana. And I think what they wanted me to do was just share my perspective. And so, first of all, I'm going to share with you guys my personal experience with marijuana. So, the first time I ever smoked, I was 17 years old. I was dating this guy named Robert, and I was in the 10th grade, maybe 10th until 11th grade. I was like going from 10th to 11th, so it was like in between, like maybe the summer of that year. And I was over at his friend Sean's house, and we were all outside, and they had rolled a joint. And I remember when they passed it to me, I was sitting on the swing set, you know, swinging, and he passed me the joint, and I hit it. And I remember being so embarrassed because I couldn't stop coughing. I couldn't stop coughing, you guys. And my face turned red. My eyes were bloodshot. But I remember thinking, this is great. I feel good. I feel relaxed. I want to eat something. That's how I always felt when I smoked pot. Weed has always just made me chill vibes. And then I get hungry. That's one of the reasons why I don't smoke now. Because when I do smoke, I eat everything in the house. So from the time I was probably from the time I was 17 till I got sober at 32, I smoked a lot. But I wasn't a person who went out and bought bags of marijuana. I've never bought my own weed. The only time I bought weed was when I was dating this other guy, and we lived together. We lived together for like 7 years. His name was LD, and he always bought a quarter every paycheck. Every Friday he would buy a quarter. So, I mean, it was my money, so I guess I bought it too. But I always smoked. And I really enjoyed it. Like, I enjoyed smoking weed, relaxing, and then eating, you know? And so, but when I got sober, I stopped because in the Suboxone program, if you smoke pot at the program that I'm in, they won't let you phase up. And if you phase up, then it's cheaper. So let me explain it to you guys. If you smoke marijuana, you can't go past phase 2, which is you have to come once a month. I'm in phase 3, so I only have to go once every 90 days to see my doctor. And I take random drug tests and shit like that, but I would still have to pay $200 a month instead of $200 every 90 days. So I sacrificed, you know, smoking weed so I can do that. Now, when I first got sober, you guys, I started out in AA. And the way I have always been taught is that, you know, the only way you're going to be successful in your recovery is if you're completely abstinent. Well, I used to really believe in that, but the longer that I stay sober, the more that I realize is that it's different for everyone. For me, I have to abstain from drugs and alcohol. Now, I do take Suboxone. It's legally prescribed to me. I don't consider that not being abstinent. I'm abstinent. The medication that I take doesn't affect me to the point where I'm getting high. I'm no longer acting out in my addiction. I don't get any kind of like buzz from it. So I'm abstinent from all drugs and alcohol. But the way I was taught when I first started out was that, you know, you weren't in recovery if you weren't abstinent. And so that's what I've always done, is I've always been abstinent from all drugs and alcohol except for the medications that were prescribed to me by a doctor. Okay. And I don't abuse those medications that are prescribed to me by a doctor. So, what do I think about marijuana now? Well, now that I'm getting down to the lower milligrams on my Suboxone taper, I have really been looking up the benefits of medical marijuana for when I taper off Suboxone. I have been considering using marijuana to help with my withdrawal when I go through that. I've been looking into gummies that I can order. And so, you know, that's an option that I have been exploring. I support medical marijuana. I support addicts who utilize it. If you are a person who can smoke marijuana and it doesn't affect your sobriety, and you can go to work, function, take care of your kids. Let's say you use it because you can't sleep at night, so you smoke a joint before you go to bed every night, and that's it. I totally support that. What I don't support is somebody who's using marijuana to change the way they feel because they can't cope. So if you're somebody who is constantly rolling blunts and smoking weed all day, every single day, and you're not present in your life, that's when I think it's a problem, you know? But if you can maintain and you can smoke, you know, one joint a day and, you know, go to bed, then I totally support that. I also think that marijuana has a lot of really great benefits for people that have cancer, people that have anxiety. I've even known people who had psoriasis and stuff really bad who started smoking and their psoriasis went away. Not because the marijuana made the psoriasis go away, but they stopped stressing out so much. So then their psoriasis cleared up because, you know, it's an autoimmune disease that can be brought on by stress. I have psoriasis, I know. And I have it really bad on my knees to where, like, on both of my knees, it's just like scales, and I can just peel that skin back. Anyway, I'll show you guys one day. But, yeah, I'm a big supporter of marijuana. I'm a big supporter of what works for each person. I believe that there's no one way to recover. I believe that the only thing I can do is share with you guys what I do every single day, and that's what we're going to talk about tonight. Tonight, we're going to talk about relapse prevention, and I'm going to talk with you guys about how I prevent relapse. I'm going to talk with you guys how I stay sober every single day, one day at a time, and how I've been able to do that for the last 4.5 years. And I'm just going to share these suggestions with you. But I want you to know, if you're somebody who watches my channel and you smoke pot, I don't want you to ever feel like I'm judging you or looking down on you. I want you to know that I support you no matter what. I want you guys to know that I'm no better than you. You know, just because I'm sober and, you know, have a YouTube channel doesn't mean that I'm better than you. We are exactly the same. I could go out tomorrow and make a bad decision and be back at square one. I could lose everything that I've worked so hard for, and I know that. And that's a big part of how I stay sober, is being humble and knowing that, you know, I'm not the end-all be-all in recovery. I'm not a teacher up here teaching you guys. I'm just sharing with you guys my experiences and what works for me. I never want you guys to feel like I'm a guru or I'm somebody that you should look up to, because I'm not. I'm just the same as you. I am human. I struggle every single day. I'm not perfect. I mean, you guys see me. I try to do the best I can, but I'm not perfect. But I totally support marijuana, and I want any of you guys out there to know that, you know, if you are smoking marijuana, I'm not a judgmental person about that. Now, I do want to say that you can be addicted to marijuana, and that's where I have to ask myself, is it something that I would want to continue doing with the kind of addiction, the addiction problems that I have? It can become something that can become unhealthy for me. And if I'm smoking all day, every day, not coping with life on life's terms, then that's not healthy for me. So, you know, it's all about getting honest with yourself. Like, you just have to ask yourself, am I using this medication? Am I using this, you know, to cope with my life and not deal? Or is this something that I'm utilizing for the benefits that it has, and that's it? Like with me, am I utilizing Suboxone for the benefit that it has given me to help me stabilize, or am I abusing it? You know, I can sit here straight-faced, honestly, and tell you, you know, I have used Suboxone to help me stabilize and get to a point where I feel like I can stand on my own, and that's what I'm doing today, you know? The same with marijuana. Are you using it to help you to get to where you need to go? And then you're, you know, going to part ways with it? Or are you using it to help you, like, go to sleep or treat some kind of anxiety or illness? You know, that's better than having to take a medication, because it's all natural, you know? So, you know, I used to be real gung-ho about, you know, being against stuff like that, but my views and my outlooks on things have changed. I think it's very different for each person. And so my only thing I want to say is, you know, only you know what's good for you, and you have to be honest with yourself. If you're somebody who you know you're going to be just a lush, smoking, eating everything in the house, then it's probably not a good idea for you to smoke marijuana. If you're somebody who can, you know, uses it to go to sleep, like I said, maybe that would be okay. But anyways, to each their own. I just want you guys to know that I support y'all no matter what. If I ever start picking up the MJ, I will let y'all know. Y'all will be the first ones to know. I promise you that. But so far, no marijuana here. I'm strictly on my 1 milligram Suboxone, Wellbutrin, and Lexapro. So I love you guys. I hope you enjoyed that little tell-all on my opinions about marijuana. And I will see you guys tonight at 7.